Hey guys, it's Fernando from SST Smart Technologies. Wanted to do a brief video on how to properly clean your harness. We see a couple different head harnesses here, one from Skio, Indigo. We see a head port pad. We've also got the head port spinal pads, the head port blankets that have rubber or silver fabric for the electrodes. And then we've got the breakaway limb bands. The best thing to use to clean your harness is the Protex spray that we have. This has no alcohol content in it, and it's great and effective for cleaning your harness and your accessories. However, we are only allowed to ship this in the United States. So if you live outside the United States, then we have the Transeptic product that we use that has a much higher alcohol content. So how do you clean it? Well, we do not recommend that you spray right onto your harnesses. What we do recommend is that you use a microfiber cloth that you can spray right onto, and then you're going to gently wipe on the electrodes and wipe on the material, the webbing around your electrodes. If you are rubbing and black comes off, that probably means you're rubbing a little too hard. And it'll be the same thing when you're dealing with the limb band. However, I do notice that black tends to come off, doesn't matter how gentle I wipe, and that's it. You see a little bit came off, but if you see it really black, that means you're wiping way too hard. And then it is nice to also do your Velcro and the magnetic connections. And it will be the same thing when you're doing the head port pad. Just spray right onto your microfiber cloth and wipe on both sides. And periodically I do suggest that you also wipe your cables. Now, one suggestion I wanted to give you is taking care of your head harness. If your head harness starts to look something like this, where the electrodes have come off, you need to get that repaired or replaced. Any of these electrodes that come off are not functional. Another tip we wanted to give you is please do not be using the paper between the head harness and the skin, because you may choose to spray the Signaspray on it, which is what we recommend. I always spray the Signaspray on all the harness connections before I put it on my client, but the paper though stops frequencies when it gets dry. And so we've been recommending for years not to use this. I do know that other people still do recommend it and we don't. So what we do recommend is just spraying the Signaspray right onto the 8 electrodes on the head harness or onto the 8 electrodes on the head port pad. Now when it comes to the limb bands, I find you don't have to spray it on the whole length of it, because most of your clients, their ankles and wrists won't be this big. So what I usually do, depending on my clients, I usually spray it on the bottom half, because that's what touches their skin, and then you loop it around. And this will be the same depending on what other limb harnesses you have. If they're the one with the buckle or the from different manufacturers, I don't think it's really necessary to use the Signaspray if you're going to be using the one with the stretchy metal bands, but you can try it and see if you feel that it helps. Using the Signaspray has made sessions, the harnesses more conductive, and especially if any of your clients have ever complained about an itchy zap, this has helped, because most of our clients do not show up hydrated. Well, that's it. That's how to properly clean up your harness and use the Signaspray. This is Fernando from SST Smart Technologies. Thanks and take care.